Hi, we're going to be working in our journals today. So let's everybody take a second, pause the video. I want you to find page 13 in your journal and we're going to get started. Just going to start the slideshow here. All right, looks like we're going to have to move this out of the way. Okay. Good to go. So today we're going to be exploring playgrounds and blacktop areas. We're going to work on a problem that affects a neighborhood in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a really large borough that is a part of New York City. So there's what Brooklyn looks like. And the problem is it has very few small parks. It's very crowded, not a lot of free space. There are not many spaces where people can do things like play basketball or sit on a bench. The good news is that in two neighborhoods in Brooklyn, people are thinking about developing parks. So one of them is called Carroll Gardens, which we can see right here. There's an empty lot in Carroll Gardens that measures 50 meters by 100 meters. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, 50 meters by 100 meters is irrelevant for the question that we're going to be looking at. So don't let those numbers get in the way for you. It's just to give you an idea of how big the space is. And if you think about 50 meters by 100 meters, that's roughly the size of a football field. So the residents of Carroll Gardens have agreed that 3/4 of the lot will be devoted to playgrounds for children. So I'm just going to show you. The second area is called Flatbush. That's what it looks like. But back to Carroll Gardens. So what I've done is just shown you that 3/4 of the lot will be devoted to playground for children. So there's the whole lot. There's 3/4 of the lot. This type of diagram should be looking pretty familiar to you by this point. Then 2/5 of that playground. So remember that the blue area here is playground. 2/5 of that playground will be covered in blacktop. And if you think of blacktop, I know at our school we call it hardtop, so that children can play basketball and other games. There's also another neighborhood in Brooklyn, like I said, called Flatbush, and there's an empty lot there, which just amazingly happens to measure 50 meters by 100 meters. The discussion in Flatbush was a little different when the residents thought about their playground. They decided to use 2/5 of the lot for a playground and 3/4 of that as blacktop. Now, on your page, you've got a couple questions there. We're going to ignore those questions, and instead, I'm going to get you to answer these questions for me, and then you're going to send it to me as your assignment for today. So you're going to send me a clearly labeled diagram of each of the lots. So you're going to draw Carroll Gardens, and you're going to draw Flatbush using the fractions that I gave you on the previous page. Then you're going to tell me what fraction of each lot will be blacktop. After that, once you compare the two of them, you're going to tell me what important factor you noticed about the two diagrams, meaning what do they have in common? Once you do this, it should pop out at you and be fairly obvious. Then I want you to tell me what rule you just discovered about multiplying fractions. So your assignment today is to do those 4 questions and get them to me. If you are having any trouble at any point, please don't be afraid to let me know. Good luck, and I hope to hear from everyone.